Hey guys, in this video I have another story time, and this is going to be about one of my ex-boyfriends, so we're just gonna get right into the video. So I had started dating this guy last April, and we had only dated for a month, so it was nothing serious. I had met him through the hookah bar that I normally go to back home, and his sister used to work there at one point, and the owner had introduced me to him, but the owner basically told me don't get involved with him because he's kind of sketchy. And I don't listen to direction, and neither does this guy, and we're gonna call him Tyler. Yeah, Tyler. So Tyler doesn't listen to direction very well either. So he was advising us do not start dating, and we both went against his wishes and we started dating. So we first we just started talking. We met one weekend and I had to go back to school, and then when I was here, we were talking nonstop, on the phone for hours, texting nonstop. It was great. And so that next weekend I ended up coming home for whatever reason, and one day he Snapchatted me and he was like,
"You have to see my secret room when you come to my condo."
and I was like, okay. And so I'm just like, I have no idea what could be in your secret room. I don't know. So the first time I go over to his condo, we're just chilling, watching a movie, and he's like,
"So do you want to see my secret room?"
and I'm just like, sure, whatever. So we walked down the hallway and he had smoked a lot of marijuana, a lot, highly, highly dependent on marijuana. And I was just like, that's fine. You do you, but that's I've done it here and there, but that's not something I want to do on the daily, several times a day, So I was like, cool. So every time I would be over, he'd be like,
"You want to smoke a little bit? You want to smoke a little bit? You want to smoke a little bit?"
I was just like, no, that's all right. You go ahead, smoke one for me, I'm good. So we walk down the hall and here's his bedroom, and then across the hall there's a bathroom, and then there's a hall closet, and then there's another door. And I was like, I don't know, maybe this is a hall closet, I don't know what secret room you're cool, you have two closets, awesome. So he opens the door and there was the brightest light that I can ever imagine emitting out of this doorway. And I'm like, okay, and it's warm. I'm putting my hand up against the door, and there's heat emitting out of this room, and I'm just like, I really have no idea. So he opens the door and I'm just my jaw is the picture of Sebastian in The Little Mermaid, where his jaw hits the floor. That was me. And I'm like, oh my god. Because when he opened the door, there was insulation on the walls, but there was insulation and there was a little shelf, and then on the floor there were this big, I'm sitting on the floor currently, but there were this tall, this high marijuana plants. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Didn't know you had a green thumb, and he's like,
"Yeah, these are my babies."
so the room was really small, but it was big enough where you could walk in, but not comfortably, because there was a shelf there, and it was an awkward, kind of reminded me of the Harry Potter closet. It was awkward sized little room. And yeah, so he had three huge ones and then a bunch of little baby ones, and he would always throw a fit because he was always like,
"Oh my god, my baby plants are dying."
and I'm just like, maybe if you weren't so stoned all the time, you would remember to take care of them, whatever. And he just smoked so often. There are long-term effects of smoking weed, and I'm not against marijuana, whatever, but when you're literally so dependent on it, and you're growing it, and you're aware that your girlfriend at the time is going to school to be a teacher, me, you can't be putting people around that. The area that he lived in, the apartment complexes that he lived in, they were okay, kind of sketchy, but down the streetway, it was like down the street, and like to the right was like Section 8 housing. The cops were called pretty frequently to that like area, and I was like, I don't know why you want to like put me in this position to like be around. Now, for all I know, he was not selling it, he was just harvesting it and smoking it, which I'm like, cool, like you're so cool. But yeah, so he was always buying new marijuana plants, and like, I don't know these things. I don't know where you buy marijuana plants. I'm assuming from a marijuana plant dealer. And yeah, so like the owner of the hookah bar comes back into play because he actually owned that condo that Tyler lived in. And yeah, so I had confronted the owner about it and told him about what Tyler was doing, and then the owner confronted Tyler, and of course Tyler denied it because and tried to blame me for being a terrible person, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. But yeah, so that's basically the time that I found out my boyfriend had, or ex-boyfriend had, a super green thumb and was growing weed in his apartment condo thing. But I hope you guys like this story time. Please give it a thumbs up if you want to see more story times, and leave any comments below of requests of videos that you would like me to do. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.